Good morning, folks. An unscheduled live stream. Quickly, the defendants in the Kansas City mom's murder case, they're being brought in individually, one by one in the courtroom. It's being broadcast live by several news outlets and on Facebook and so forth. I'm going to bring it to you with a little bit of delay, and just bear with me, folks. I didn't really plan to do this, but I think it's important that we see them being brought in, hear what they say, if they do say anything. They're being brought in one by one. Special thank you to the moderators, the replay viewers, everyone that watches. But let's take a listen in. The first of 4 defendants are being brought in as we speak. It's going to be done individually, so grin and bear with me as the camera is a little shaky on this. And again, I wanted to bring this to you guys so you could see the faces of evil as they're brought into the court. So here's our first defendant coming in. Obviously, this is just a little bit before, so this is not the defendant that they're talking to here. Coming in the car in the background, right there. He's being brought in, and the first defendant is coming into the courthouse parking lot as we speak. A large entourage, and he's wearing a bulletproof vest, ladies and gentlemen. These defendants are high risk for assassination, so they'll be wearing bulletproof vests. Again, bear with me with the shaky camera. It's the news. It gets better. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you. Hi, Rebecca. All right, this is Earl Twombly, folks, and he smirks.
Cole, do you have anything to say to Jilian and Veronica's families?
Look at the smirk.
Do you have any remorse? Did you do it?
Do you have anything to say to the children whose mothers were murdered?
Why?
He shakes his head no when asked if he did it.
Cole, do you have anything to say to Jilian and Veronica's families?
Do you have any remorse? Did you do it?
Do you have anything to say to the children whose mothers were murdered?
Why?
He shook his head like to say no when that reporter asked, did you do it? Do you have any remorse? Kind of just nodded a little bit, but that's the face of evil, ladies and gentlemen. And they brought the second perpetrator in some 40 minutes after this. So I'm going to fast forward. This is just some of the people going in and out of the court. And I'm going to fast forward to the part. Here is the second defendant coming in now, folks. Just want to set it up and show you how, when they're brought in, how much of an entourage. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually 5. The last one is an SUV. So they're coming in heavy. Interesting. All right, the camera gets shaky again. And this is the second defendant coming in, folks, into the courthouse. They're doing them individually, which is unique. They are doing them individually, maybe so they can't talk or get any eyesight. They don't want them all in the courtroom at the same time. So this is purposely done. Let's listen. This is Tad Bert Cullum.
Anything to say?
He didn't have anything to say, but let's take a look again. It's coming out of this black unmarked sheriff's vehicle.
Comment? Anything to say?
Wearing a bulletproof vest once again. All right, folks, I'm going to let this play, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I got two things I got to take care of. So I'm going to let the rest of this play. Talk amongst yourselves. Again, we still have the two defendants, Tifany Machel Adams and Cora Twombly. Those two are remaining.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. They're taking the other one out? Yeah. Out. Let's see what's going on. What am I missing here?
Okay, friends, I'm back. I had to just take care of a little business. Again, an unscheduled Crime Time with DutyRon live stream. What we're looking at is an outside view live outside the courthouse. The defendants in this case are being brought in to be arraigned on their charges. And again, I didn't plan to do this, but I thought it would be a great idea to bring it to you live. And a special thank you to Jilian Marie for actually texting me this. So she texted me this, and I thought it would be good for us to see, listen to the vibe outside the courthouse. Looks like a beautiful day. And let's take a listen in and see what else is happening here. Let's see if I can fast forward it a little bit. Let's go live. All right, stand by a minute. Special thank you to everyone who's here. Jeff, thank you for the super chat. This one, reason DutyRon. Okay, here we go. Show what we got here. Want to make sure I didn't miss it. Okay. So here comes one of the two female defendants. Let's take a look and listen in. Again, this is just a little bit of a delay. One of the two defendants, and it looked like what I saw quickly, it was Tifany, I believe. I could be wrong. Oof. Oofa. Bulletproof vest.
Any comment at all?
Wow. No reporters asked anything. They actually screamed a couple of things to the male defendants, but not one word said to these the female defendant coming in. It looked like Granny. Yes, it did look like Granny. She had a pair of reading glasses in her hair. Let's take a look back again. It definitely did look like Granny. She got her hair jailhouse braided. Yeah, it's a 54-year-old Tifany Machel Adams. That's a rough 54 there. Actually looks a little bit better than her mugshot that we see in the flyer on this thumbnail here. So we'll take another look. It looks a little bit better, right? Let me take the banner and the branding off. Hold on. Reporters might have been instructed not to ask any questions because nobody said anything to her. Anybody find that odd that the male defendants were paraded in and reporters were allowed to barrage them, hit them with, and rightfully so, hit them with questions? But let's listen. I won't say another word. Nobody said shit to her.
Any comment at all?
Oh, any comment at all? Male reporter said any comment at all. Glad I listened back. Stone-faced, just walking into that courthouse, facing a barrage of charges. Murder in the first degree, and a slew of other charges that we saw come out in that probable cause affidavit, the arrest affidavit. I mean, I didn't do any coverage on that, but what a brutal probable cause affidavit. Court documents show burner phones were purchased, stun guns. This was planned. They either did a dry run or planned to do something in February. So this is definitely not something that was spur of the moment. It was a planned event. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. And my apologies for this camera guy. This is not me, obviously. This is news on the ground outside the courthouse. And special thank you to the news for covering this. Let me get me back on. So by a show of hands in the chat, how many of you guys read the arrest warrants? Quite a few pages. I have it downloaded. I could go over them with you guys after this. But I mean, just by a show of hands, put a 1 in the chat if you read the arrest affidavit. It's the same for each of the 4 defendants. Burner phones, stun guns, lots of stuff. Let's see who's coming out. Okay. Tad Bert coming out, 43. And we saw Earl Twombly go in. We didn't see him come out, so I'm going to see if we missed that. A lot of heavy presence of law enforcement for safety. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, you, babe. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I'm going to go back and take a look at that. Anybody know if Cole made any statements coming out? Let me scan for that. Okay, there we go. I missed this. Thank you guys for that. Let's see if they ask him any questions coming out, because now the shit really hits the fan for them, because reality sinks in when the judge officially tells them and arraigns them on their charges. Not a word, huh? No, I didn't think so. They've been issued counsel. You know, a lot of news reporting outlets are saying that they don't know if they had counsel. You can't go before a judge without counsel. So a court-appointed lawyer was probably appointed to them if they didn't hire their own attorney. So here in this situation, there was a counsel assigned to each one of these defendants. Let's take a listen. No bail. This is first-degree murder, Daryl. No bail. They are remanded. This is Mr. Smirk. He had the smirk on his face coming in. Again, remember, these are sovereign citizens. They do not believe in the government. They're the ones that if you get pulled over by the police, they always say, I have nothing to say. I'm just traveling. I'm not driving. I'm traveling. Sovereign citizens really don't believe in the government and are march to their own drumbeat, so to speak. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they did, but look, it looks like a pretty decent crowd outside here, videotaping and taking cell phone footage and so forth. These are locals that are concerned with this type of grueling, brutal crime that took the lives of 2 mothers. 6 kids are motherless. 6 children have no moms anymore because of these people. So we'll see if they're going to represent themselves or if they're going to be represented by counsel. Sometimes the sovereign citizen goes out the window when your life's on the balance. So look, if you ask me, I couldn't give a rat's ass. I hope these guys and girls rot in prison, rot in hell, as far as I'm concerned, for the crimes that they committed. I mean, these are brutal people, and thank God for the 16-year-old daughter for stepping up and giving information to law enforcement. So let's get back to close to where. All right, so now we're just waiting for the last defendant to come out, the last 2 defendants to come out. But, you know, like I said, these horrific crimes, let's bring on the proceedings. Let's get them before, you know, if they're pleading not guilty, let's get a trial going quick. Let's not drag this out like we see in some of these other high profile cases. But these are brutal, vicious murderers over custody. Over custody. It just doesn't make sense. Make it make sense to me. None of this makes sense. This is horrific. Dr. Ed Moskowitz, good to see you. Julie, thank you for joining. Sharon, thank you for being here. So how many of you guys did see the probable cause affidavit with all of the listing of the crimes and the background of what they did leading up to these two murders? Put a 1 in the chat if you read it, 2 if you didn't. I know we did this already. I saw more 1s than 2. I saw many more 1s than 2s. You guys were saying most of you have seen this and read it. If you haven't read it, I will link it in the description, and I'll also show it on the screen for you guys. But it's lengthy. It's lengthy to read through, and it's a lot. So I'll post it here for you guys to take a look at, and we'll go over it. Many other channels have gone over this. I know attorney Melanie Little did that last night or the day before. I lose track of the days because I'm still at home nursing this torn rotator cuff. But yeah. All right. So it looks like more people have seen it than didn't. And Jeff, thank you for the super chat. Joey Brooklyn, thank you for being a member for 36 plus months, 3+ years. Welcome to all the new subscribers in the DutyRon family. Yes. Thank you, Joey. Joey Brooklyn, my main man. Yeah, I'll link it, Daryl. I will link it. I promise. Thank you, Bayou Babe. Thank you. Miss Think Twice. Yes. Yeah. Tifany Michelle, True Crime. Thank you for being a member. She says the 16-year-old daughter will definitely need protection. Sad case. Yeah, really. You know, but if she wasn't brave enough to step up, we may not be where we are today. You know, so a lot of this stuff happens because of help from the public, you know. And she talked about the weekly meetings, about, you know, their meetings of this God's misfit church. And I want to say this, I want to bring myself in close here. Anything when it comes to religious or any type of extreme beliefs is it's dangerous. It sometimes becomes deadly. And we see in this situation here. So anyone that has extreme beliefs, whether it be religion or just anything per se, it is very dangerous to be around. You know, we look at Chad Daybell and Lori Shallow Vallow. I can go through a full long laundry list of people who have extreme beliefs. Look at what happened in Australia. You know, recently here we had the mall stabbings. We had a day later a house of worship. 16-year-old goes in with extreme beliefs and goes and stabs at the altar a member of a house of worship. It's just crazy. It's crazy, folks. So be aware of people who have these extreme beliefs. And that's what we were looking at here. That's what we're looking at here. These people are not the kind of people you want to be palling around with. That's for sure. Cat D, yes. Bishop Murray. Yep. Prayers for Australia. Prayers for Australia. Okay, this is probably for the next transport out. People can be nuts. Yeah. Kit Lee says especially awful with Mother's Day coming up. Absolutely. Okay, this is our last perpetrator. This is the younger of the two women. Cora Twombly coming out. Same reporter asked if you have anything to say. Head was down. Cora Twombly looks straight at the ground, folks. Nothing to say. She, out of all four of these defendants, put her head straight down to the ground and didn't even look up, didn't look at the cameras. Again, these are heinous criminals that are caught and are now being arraigned on their charges. So, again, friends, like I said, anything that is extreme is dangerous. And I'll say that till the sun comes down. It is a dangerous thing to be messing with folks like this. All four are in the courthouse, have been in the courthouse. This may be Tifany coming back out. Yes, that is Tifany. She took a look at the camera. Okay, so that was Tifany Machel Adams coming out. Grandma, Granny, a rough-looking 54. That's a good one, Ginger. There you go, honey. Call her what she hates to be called. Thank you, Princess Mitch and Rob. Thank you, guys. Much love. Yeah, Dina Marie, it's a rough 54, right? I turned 60 in 2 days. I turned 60 in 2 days, and I'm not trying to brag, but I think I look a heck of a lot better than a 54-year-old. Just saying. No bonds. I can guarantee you there's no bonds. They're being held on no bail. This is murder first degree. They're charged, all four of them charged with murder first degree, folks. Okay, there are some rumors floating around, and these are unverified rumors, that there may be more arrests in this case. I do not have any law enforcement or, any type of knowledge that in fact is the truth. But I have some pictures that I want to share with you guys. Okay, so this is these are photos of, and these are shared on the internet, Hold on, let me make sure that nothing's happening here while I show you these photos. So this is the bearded dragon, the ZZ Top guy, right? Hold on, let me just pause this for a second. So this is Mr. ZZ Top and Cora in Better Days. So I'm going to go full screen with me. ZZ Top and Cora in Better Days. What do you think, folks? Here's a good one of Granny, right? Granny in Better Days. And worse days, there's Granny. And better days, ZZ Top beard guy. I don't know, man. Interesting, right? Somebody says it good. Laura Quigley. Evil ages us, right? When you have evil intentions, it takes a toll on you. Terry wins the greatest comment of the whole live stream. DutyRon. Good looking at 60. Thank you, Terry. The Bearded Devil. That was pretty good, right, Annie? And all those pictures, compliments of Joliene Marie. Thank you. This guy is definitely not ZZ Top. I mean, he just has the ZZ Top beard. Again, it's a slap in the face to ZZ Top, if you ask me. But it is what it is. So someone's trying to get brownie points. HC teacher says 60. I thought 40. I agree. Granny looks crazy. Let's take another look at Granny here in these pictures. Looking much better down in the bottom over here. All right, so this is a look outside the courthouse. Friends. Yeah, Tad has the ZZ Top beard. Yes, I know I confused a few of you. April B12 says, I'll take some brownie points. There you go. Thank you. So the Texas County Sheriff's Office, along with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations, with help from the FBI and probably lots of other law enforcement authorities, helped to investigate this case over a span of 16 days. They were able to come up with these arrest warrants and arrest 4 people that we see here coming in and out of the courthouse, being arraigned on a whole host of charges, ranging from, kidnapping, but the main bulk of the charges that they will be looking at, either capital punishment or life in prison without parole, is the murder first degree, folks. And Oklahoma does in fact have capital punishment. So it's something that we would be looking at here, and I want to hear, and for those of you who are asking, no, there was no cameras in the courtroom. This is the best that they were able to give us, and I think that this is good enough because we get to see these folks coming in. And Judy asks, why are they at high risk of assassination? There's probably not a lot of people who like what they did in that area, and in any area for that matter. So if we had high profile perpetrators like this being taken out of jail, that's where they're being held, in a local county jail, right? Texas County Jail, I believe. So when you're being held in a local jail and you're being brought to court and out in the open like this, it's up to law enforcement to keep these perpetrators, these defendants, safe. So they throw a bulletproof vest on them. We do the same thing. We would do the same thing here in New York. Renee Selmer says, I'm going on 71. I look better. There you go. I'm looking at the chat. Hashtag DutyRon for your questions. It makes it easier for me to pick them out. I'm just trying to look at the chat real quick. Fake Freckbrock says, what happens to a police officer? They accidentally call an offender something nasty. I mean, that's an open-ended question. It depends on a lot of different things. I'm not sure exactly what you're trying to get at there, but it's a valid question. It could range from a disciplinary action to something even more severe, depending on what's said. So, thank you for making a live stream. Bless whoever was sneezing, whatever reporter that was. God bless you. God bless you. Here's one from Jen. Hashtag DutyRon. She reminds me of the old lady in Ozark. Yes. My wife said that last night. So you're on the same page with the missus. So in 2 days, I'll be turning 60 on Friday, April 19th. So I compared myself to some of these defendants, and I feel like I look a lot younger than them. And none of them, the closest is Tifany to 54, is close to 60. All the rest, Cora is 44, Tad is 43, and Cole is 50. These folks have not aged well. And I don't know if it's from lifestyle or from things that they are doing or whatever the case may be, but time hasn't been good to them. I'll say that right now. All right, so this is a look right outside the courthouse. I don't have much information on, what transpired inside that courthouse, but I would imagine that the formal charges were read to them, and at this time they could put a plea in of guilty or not guilty. But at arraignment, it's a pretty basic process. You're told about the charges, and then they have to get an indictment before a grand jury. And that's at least how it's done here in the Northeast. In some jurisdictions, it's done a little differently. But I would imagine arraignment, and it was pretty basic and pretty quick, and then they go from there. There's no bail. These folks are not going to be afforded any bail with the charges that are brought forth on them. And if it is a bail, it'll be in the millions, I would imagine. So, thank you, Wanda. Hey guys, if you're new, please hit the subscribe button and do me a favor. If you can do me this favor for my birthday, hit the thumbs up if you can, or hit the thumbs down, whatever you want. Either one works. They all give the YouTube algorithm a little pump. So a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you want to do. But this is a live coverage from outside the courthouse for the 4 defendants in the Kansas City mom's murder case. Again, the victims, Veronica Butler, 27, and Jilian Kelley, 39. Both moms of a total of 6 children are motherless here going into Mother's Day. So this is, again, live coverage outside the courthouse. I'm going to try to fast forward. And this is the it looks like the rear entrance to the courthouse. Let me let this buffer a little bit and see what's happening. All right, here we go. So let me know where you're watching from, city, state, or country. And if you're new, say new so we can say hello to you formally. If you're new to this live stream or Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, let us know you're new. We always like to say hello to everybody. All right, so low-hanging hardware, please watch your head is the sign that we're looking at right now. But I'm imagining that they do get the notification when they're coming in and out. So the press may be getting notified. Oh, okay. Just an innocent bystander that's watching probably, or in the courthouse for some other business. Heidi from Knoxville, good to see you. Karen from the UK, thank you. Thank you for joining. Rockingham, North Carolina, welcome in. Barbara, San Diego, Massachusetts. Anybody new here? I haven't seen a new yet. Hello from Milwaukee, Seattle. A lot of familiar faces. Sonia says, I'm relatively new. Debbie, thank you for being here. New to the channel, great coverage. Also loved your coverage on the Vanderrock and Ferguson. Thank you. Yeah, we try to do as much as we can on these cases. Thank you for being new, Jen. New Berlin, Wisconsin. Hello from Colorado. Oh, coincidentally, thank you for mentioning Colorado. We're going to have Bob Schaefer, statement analysis, going to come on with us, and we're going to do some statement analysis in the Sebastian Rogers case. So he's going to do some statement analysis on the parents, the mom and the stepdad. He's working on a statement analysis video with me right as we speak. So we're going to be looking for that coverage. Thank you, 12 Gauge Phillip. 12 Gauge Phillips, new chatter. Hello. Welcome. Hello from the UK. So Grass Monster 3. Hold on, let's see who this is. Let me take this off. Okay, this is Cora Twombly coming out. She's looking down again. You have anything to say, ma'am? Something, did you do it? I'd be looking into that if I was investigating this case. Strongly. I got the audio enhancer up, so let's take a listen. I just tried for the life of me to hear the second part of what that reporter asked. You have anything to say, ma'am? Did you kill those women? Okay, that's it. Boom. Got it. All right, let's listen one last time. Promise this is the last time. Did you kill those women is the second part. Yep. Did you kill those women? Three times the charm. I got it on the third try. I want to just point something out. I mean, it's not a huge crowd there, but there are people there. It's I would have expected more, but again, this is a rural area, and this is not like what you would see in in a city environment or even in a suburban environment. This is maybe there was like 10 people there. I don't know. I'm going to take a look again and scan the crowd, but it wasn't a lot of people, but it was enough that, you see that there's community concern, obviously. I counted about 15 people there.
Anything else, did they? Like actually just really. Yeah, we got to go. Yeah, what is going on?
You anything good?
We're still alive, by the way.
I'll take you back to the beginning and show you court officers and personnel are scanning civilians who want to come in and watch. So I don't know if these are, and I want to lower the volume so you guys can hear me over the beeps. When I was watching this earlier, I thought, well, maybe these are people that want to come in and see this arraignment, but for the most part, you know, maybe it's another case, but you see people hugging each other. So I think that there's a possibility, there's probably a possibility that these are people here, obviously, for this case. And there may be some people that are there to, you know, for other cases. But as you can see here, there's lots of hugs and people. I would have to say these are people that have an invested interest in this case. But then there were some people that might have been, you know, I saw news reporters getting scanned and so forth. So they don't just have the court open just for this case alone. There's other cases that are going on. So, but yeah, it is what it is, folks. And to the friends who are new in the chat, don't pay any mind to any trolls or anybody like that. That's what they look to do. They want to get, they kind of want to get some attention. So don't even give it to them. But thank you, mods. I have the best mods on YouTube here. Yeah, not so sovereign today. No, absolutely not. Yeah, so I assume these are family members or people who have a vested interest in this case coming here because you see them hugging each other and so forth. Yeah, it's hard to watch. My heart breaks for these people, Abby. Hello from Fort Worth. Welcome. Hi, Rhonda. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys all consider subscribing, please. Yeah, thank you, Melanie Lunsford. I've been around courts my whole 20 plus years in NYPD and law enforcement. And I know courts are not just open just for particular cases. There's lots of other cases that go on. Yeah, Jen, I wonder as well. My prayers go out to these people. It breaks my heart to see this. On the surface, Lisa, it seems that way. It seems that way. Lisa, subscribing is free. Let me just say this. Lisa says, I'm new from Canada. I would love to subscribe, but I can't even pay my rent when things will get better. A subscription is free. To join memberships costs money, but our lowest tier membership costs $34 for the year US currency. It's pretty reasonable, but you can subscribe. It's free. You just hit the little button.
Did y'all end up staying here in Vining?
I stayed in so Brian switched out with
All right, some of the reporters are talking about the people that just went in.
Yeah, easier, closer.
So I'll do a quick overview. Moonmaid 89. This is a case of two missing women. It started on March 30th of 2023. Missing mom, Veronica Butler, 27. She was going to do a custody exchange with a court-appointed Supervision or observer Jilian Kelley, 39 years young. They were last seen on March 30th doing a custody exchange, or was supposed to do a custody exchange. Their vehicle was found by an abandoned gas station on a desolate roadway, with a tremendous amount of blood and evidence suggesting a violent crime scene had occurred. They secured the scene. Local authorities called in the Oklahoma Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation and so forth, and they conducted a 15-day investigation, which led us up to the arrests over the weekend of these 4 defendants, and charged them with murder in the first degree, kidnapping, and a various slew of other charges. I hope that helps you with an overview on this case. Thank you, Jeff. Allison, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Always kind and sweet. I appreciate that.
He's still got stuff about
on the left. When you walk up the stairs, you'll be on the the other one has.
You think it's
All right. I'm going to lower this and I'm going to read a tweet by Brian Enton. Let me know if you can hear me over the volume. I put the volume really low. I want to read this tweet. I'll wait for you guys to hear. Let me know if you could hear me over this volume in the background, or should I just cut the volume totally? But I want to read this tweet from Brian Enton. Hold on a second. I'll put it really low. Michelle Scott says, Allison, please think of me next month. I'll be thinking and I'll pray. I'll be praying for you. So Linda, I'm not going to get into that here, but it's in the probable cause affidavit. 16-year-old daughter of one of the defendants gave vital information on the backgrounds and some of the things that were observed, burner phones and planning of this heinous crime. She was witness to it because she lived in the house with them. All right. Brian Enton tweeted this just at 11:44 a.m. So just moments ago. It's 11:49. So 5 minutes ago, Brian tweeted extremely emotional court hearing for 4 suspects accused of killing Kansas moms. Victims' family members had to be held back as the suspects were brought into court. The family called Grandma Tifany Adams a fucking bitch as she entered, and the other perpetrators, the other defendants, the families called them sorry pieces of shit. Bond was denied. There is no bond or bail for them. But again, Brian Enton tweeted 5 minutes ago, extremely emotional hearing for 4 suspects accused of killing Kansas moms, Veronica, Butler, and Jilian Kelley. They had to be held back. And as the suspects were brought into the courtroom, the family called Grandma Tifany Adams a fucking bitch. As she entered, and the others, when they entered the courtroom, the other 3 defendants were called sorry pieces of shit. Bond denied. Tweet on Brian Enton's Twitter. I will pull that up and actually I'll link it here in the description. He says 2 hours ago, I'm going into the court for Kansas moms murder suspects. Their first time in court, no phones or cameras allowed in the courtroom, leaving phone in the car, but we'll update when it's all over. So I'm looking for Brian Enton on News Nation or some type of update. I looked at all the interviews from yesterday. I did check Brian. Brian is a friend of mine. We actually communicate by text message quite a bit. I know he's going to be busy as all hell, but I'm going to actually text him and ask him if he's going to go live. Later, I'll send him a text message. Can they yell out like that in court? Yes, they can. They can yell out in court, but there's court officers there to stop them and protect these defendants. So yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen family members try to jump over the rail and get to these people, potential suspects and perpetrators. Again, a very emotional day in court, and emotions are running high. Yeah, he shot and killed that guy in the airport. Killed and I think raped his son.
Yeah,
Cole, do you have anything to say to Jilian and Veronica's families?
Do you have any remorse? Did you do it?
Do you have anything to say to the children whose mothers are murdered?
Why?
No, you're good.
Sometimes Brian Enton goes live on Twitter, so I'm looking to see if he did. Let's take a look at News Nation. All right, guys, bear with me a minute while I pull up News Nation. Grin and bear with me. Hold on. Let's see what we got from News Nation.
Provided, is there anything new we learned about the evidence prosecutors had that led to their arrest today?
Not really in particular. What happened is they brought each suspect in one by
folks.
one. So they kind of went through the same process 4 times and read the charges. There weren't any new details that we didn't already know from the police reports. But the main point was just to read them their charges, to see if they were going to hire a private attorney. And really, again, what I walk away just thinking about is just seeing all those family members. And that was just really quite a moment, just the raw emotion.
Yeah. And did the suspects respond at all when they were being called names? Did they interact with these families?
No, not at all. They just sort of looked straight ahead. I didn't even really see them make eye contact at all with the victim's family members at all. I mean, clearly they heard what they were saying and could feel the emotion and knew that the one gentleman was trying to lunge at them. But no, they didn't make eye contact at all with anyone, and just sort of looked straight ahead and, answered yes, no to all of the questions. I was thinking back too that, there's these, the allegation is that they were all in this cult called God's Misfits, an anti-government cult. And it was almost like I think they knew what to expect coming into court. And if they really have this anti-government sentiment and they only believe in God's law, which is what we've been told, it was just like they were almost like emotionless.
Yeah. Brian, I have less than a minute left. Was there anybody in the courtroom in their defense supporting these 4 today?
No.
Oh,
No,
hell
not that I saw.
no.
I didn't see anyone from their families. And it was interesting. Other court hearings I've covered, normally the media has to sit in the back row. And when we went in, they said, media, and there weren't very many of us. There was just a couple of us, but could sit in the front and second row, which I thought was interesting. And now I'm just thinking about it. I think that the court staff realized just how volatile it was. A small room. It was going to be very, very volatile. So they wanted to keep the family members, obviously, in the last rows.
Yeah, very small town. Everybody knows somebody, and in this community that's been living this nightmare for the last 2 weeks, that journey will continue. Just thinking about those families. I know you're going to be talking to them as you're on the ground there, Brian. Please give them our best. Brian Enton reporting from Oklahoma. We'll have full coverage throughout the day here on News Nation. We're going to take another short break. More news straight ahead.
So there you go, folks. I was able to grab that live from News Nation's coverage right outside the courthouse. And I'm going to read quickly from Brian Enton's Twitter. An extremely emotional court hearing for the 4 suspects accused of killing the 2 Kansas moms. The victims' families and members had to be held back as the suspects were brought into court. Family called Grandma Tifany Adams a fucking bitch as she entered, and others who entered, the other 3 sorry pieces of shit. The judge denied bond on all 4. They were remanded to jail. And this is Brian Enton's tweet. Like I said, I'm reading this straight off of his Twitter feed. So just give me 2 seconds, and I'm going to go to X real quick and bring up my good friend Brian Enton. Stand by. Just want to see if he's got anything else. Brian Enton. Here we go. All right. I've had Brian a few times on with me on Crime Time with DutyRon. He actually came on and did an interview with Brian on the Brian Kohlberger case. He was outside of the home where those 4 college students were murdered viciously, alleged to be a perpetrator, Brian Kohlberger. So here's the tweet that I just read to you guys, and I'll make it so you guys can see it. So here's the tweet, and I'll highlight it. Extremely emotional court hearing for 4 suspects accused of killing the Kansas moms. Victims' family members had to be held back as suspects were brought into court. Family called Grandma Tifany Adams a fucking bitch as she entered, and others sorry pieces of shit. Bond denied. So there you go. That's Brian Enton's tweet from Twitter, X. Guys, if you're not following me on X, you can go on over there and follow me. That's my handle on Twitter, X. So I got 11,000 posts. I really don't post a lot there, but this is Crime Time with DutyRon. If you're not subscribed here, subscribe. And if you want to go over to Twitter and follow me there, you can also send me messages. As you can see, there's so many people on Twitter following me and sending me messages. So I get a lot of messages back and forth from Twitter/X. So I want to go back to this initial court reporter. It was Cindy Batzlaff, KFDA News Local, and over in this region where the Kansas murder suspects, Kansas moms murder suspects, are being brought into the courthouse. And I wanted to see if she did any commentary, but basically it was just this coverage, essentially. There was really no commentary. It was just, the live feed outside the court, which was really good because we got to see these savages being brought in and out. So I'd like to see if there's anybody locally watching from this local region. Let me know if you are a local, boots on the ground, or if you've been following this case and you're within that state. You don't necessarily have to be right there. I'd like to be, like to acknowledge anyone from this region to, in this state, and just say hello to you and send strength and prayers to you and the community there, because I know this is not an easy thing to deal with.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that.
All right, here comes Grandma. Again, this is a replay of her coming in. She was called fucking bitch by the family of the decedents. So this is Grandma being brought in. Here we go. I finally got it. Yeah, Joey, I'm not bleeping it.
Coming at all.
Stone cold killer right there. Face of evil. No emotion. No emotion at all. Just getting out of that car and looking straight up. Nothing.
Coming at all.
Cora Twombly. Renee, sending lots of prayers and strength to the community there. Nothing but strength, prayers, and positive vibes. I mean, this type of heinous crime can happen anywhere. And look at our friends from New Zealand. I have so many followers from New Zealand who have sent me messages and said, DutyRon, violence like this never happens in our country. Nothing like this happens in New Zealand on a regular basis. And in 2 days, they had 2 knife attacks where multiple people lost their lives, including a 6 or 9 month old baby who's hanging on for her life in the hospital, motherless, her mother slain. So Renee, thank you for being here, and thank you for being in the chat during this difficult time. I want to see something here. I want to see when ZZ Top came in. I don't remember if he said anything, but I don't think he did. I think the only one that really made a gesture was the first perpetrator that came in, and that was Earl Twombly. He kind of made a little bit of a little head acknowledgement of no, stating when the reporter asked, why did you do this, or something in words of that effect, and that was it. take a look at it here.
Cole, do you have anything to say to Jillian and Veronica's families?
Do you have any remorse? Did you do it?
Do you have anything to say to children whose mothers are murdered?
Why?
Don't you wish that the reporters asked questions just like that to each one of these defendants that came in? Like, he was the only one that got barraged by these women, the female reporters. The rest of it was just like a light touch. Did anybody notice that? I mean, am I going crazy here, being that I'm out of work a month, not going to work for a whole month, and my sitting here in my house looking at my four walls? Am I going crazy? Or did they, other reporters, the male reporters, didn't ask these questions like this? Like, these females, man, kudos to them, to these female reporters. They really got on his shit. But the males weren't treated. The other perps weren't treated like that. Am I going crazy?
Cole, do you have anything to say to Jillian and Veronica's families?
Do you have any remorse? Did you do it?
Do you have anything to say to children whose mothers are murdered?
Why?
Kudos to those ladies, to the female girl power, man. Girl power on that. They freaking gave it to him, man. But pretty much not the rest. I was disappointed by that. Here's one of the reporters. I think this is Sydney, to be honest with you. This is Sydney Batzlaff. I'm brutalizing her name. KFDA News. She's got her reporter's notebook there. So even the reporters get searched. Everybody gets searched going in.
Can you tell us why you guys are doing this?
Right here. Here we go.
Comment? Anything to say?
Come on, guys. Any comment? You got anything to say? That's it.
Comment? Anything to say?
Come on, guys. All right, friends. I'm just going to check real quick to see if she has anything additional on her. Here's a 4-minute report.
All right, hello Facebook. We just got out of the court hearing. I wanted to hop on here, have lots of notes. Again, phones and cameras were not allowed inside, so taking notes during the whole thing. All suspects have left back to the jail. We do have some, don't know relationship, but friends, family. Courtroom was probably, I'd say, dozens, no more than 50 people in the courtroom. There was
This is the
family
reporter.
there, very emotional people.
This is the reporter we just watched get searched and go into the courthouse. And again, kudos to her for her coverage. Her name is Sydney. She's from KFDA Local, and they do a great job. So kudos to you, Sydney. Thank you for this report.
People were crying, really. Lots of tissues. We believe it was Veronica's father. He tried to get up multiple times. Every time a suspect came out, you can just tell he was not happy. Other family members were holding him down every time someone came out. I kind of want to go over those suspects' emotions with you when they came out into the public, and this is the first time we're seeing them since their mugshot. So, first person that we saw in court was Cora Twombly. You know, he was very kind of chill, not really any emotion. This was the first one again. I believe it was Veronica's father. Just hold on one second. Sorry, I was making sure they weren't talking to me. Yeah, again, they had to hold down family member for that. Next person we saw is, sorry, I'm trying to hold my phone and notebook at the same
Tad.
time.
It was Tad.
Not easy. Tad Adams. Language did get a little vulgar with this one from who we believe is Veronica's father. Called him a piece of blank. I'll leave that part out. You know, family members were crying during this one. With Tad, he was very chill, you know, kind of lying back in his chair, kind of like rocking. Next person we saw was Tifany Adams, the grandmother in this case. Again, family member is very upset with her as well. You know, she didn't really look too remorseful. She just kind of sitting there and not doing much, not too much on her face. And then the last person we saw was Cora Twombly. Now, her emotions were different than everyone else we saw. She was, every time charges were read, she was shaking her head no, looking down a lot. And something else very different with her is she said she did not have the money to hire an attorney, so they're appointing someone from the state. Again, if you're just hopping on here, lots of family members in there, lots of friends, lots of tears, lots of hugging, calling out things every time a suspect walked out. So I want to go over those charges. Well, actually, first, let's talk about all 4 suspects were denied bond today. We know their next appearance in court is going to be Wednesday, May 15th at 9 in the morning. And that's going to be an attorney status. And so they are all charged with 5 counts. Count 1 was murder in the first degree, aid and abet of Veronica Butler. They said she died from mortal wounds. Count 2, same one, murder of Jilian Kelley. Count 3 and count 4 are the same. One's for Veronica Butler and one's for Jilian Kelley. Now, with this, they said that they did put them in another vehicle and transport them to another location, holding them against their will. And count 5 was conspiracy and planning to kill Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley. And this was with those burner phones that were purchased, stun guns, and traveling to that rural Texas County road where their car was last seen. And I want to go over those dates with you of just how long this has been planned for. The judge said February 13th to March 30th is when they've been arranging and planning this. So again, all 4 suspects have been denied bond. Next time we're going to see them in court is May 15th at 9 o'clock. I'm going to flip my camera so you guys can kind of see what we're seeing here right now. We have our photographer right now trying to talk to anyone that is outside.
I'm going to stop this right here because I thought that when I read this, when I was reading the probable cause affidavit, this means, friends, and don't, again, don't shoot the messenger, but this means that they were abducted at that location and injured, but not killed, and then put in a secondary vehicle. They looked at that trailer that you could use to transport livestock in, that they potentially either put them in the pickup truck that the young girl was asked to clean, or inside that livestock, or maybe they put one in there and the other. We don't know, but it seems like these victims were injured, severely injured, and then transported to another location, possibly that house, that property, and killed at another location. And they planned this from February 13th, a day before Valentine's Day, up to the murder at March 30th of 2024. This is horrific, and we heard it right there from this young reporter. I'm just going to put it back so you guys can listen to this, but essentially murder times 2, first degree, kidnapping times 2, for and then conspiracy to commit murder. Evil, to say the least. Evil. But let's take a listen to this one more time now that I put this. Yeah, horse trailer, says Renee. So maybe they separated these two as they were mortally wounded and then transported them to a secondary location. There's witnesses that saw this horse trailer and these individuals in that area at that time. So happy birthday as well. Happy birthday to Riley. I see that. Happy birthday, Ron. My 70th is Sunday. So April 19th, 21st, April 21st. So you and I share the similar dates. I'm an Aries. I think you're a Taurus. Maybe you are an Aries too. I don't know about the signs, but let's listen in on this. This is
Texas County Road where their car was last seen, and planning to kill Veronica Kelley. The charge of 5 in court is going to be Wednesday, May 15th at 9 in the morning, and that's going to be an attorney status. And so they are all charged with 5 counts. Count 1 was murder in the first degree, aid and abet of Veronica Butler. They said she died from mortal wounds. Count 2, same one, murder of Jilian Kelley. Count 3 and count 4 are the same. One's for Veronica Butler and one's for Jilian Kelley. Now with this, they said that they did put them in another vehicle and transport them to another location, holding them against their will. And count 5 was conspiracy and plan.
So right there, holding them against their will, meaning that they were still alive. I mean, you can't hold someone against their will if they're deceased. So again, mortally wounded, and then transported to a secondary location. These are monsters. These are evil demons.
Put them in another vehicle and transport them to another location, holding them against their will. And count 5 was conspiracy and planning to kill Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley. And this was with those burner phones that were purchased, stun guns, and traveling to that rural Texas County Road where their car was last seen. And I want to go over those dates with you of just how long this has been planned for. The judge said February 13th to March 30th is when they've been arranging and planning this. So again, all 4 suspects have been denied bond. Next time we're going to see them in court is May 15th at 9 o'clock. I'm going to flip my camera so you guys can kind of see what we're seeing here right now. We have our photographer right now trying to talk to anyone that is outside, see if we can talk to any family members, any friends, family of Veronica and Jilian. And we will be going live at noon for our noon show, so make sure to tune in. But again, this is what we're seeing right now, and we'll be continue to bring you the latest. We got those perp walks of them walking in. But that's all for now. I'm going to go try to talk to some people, but thanks so much for watching.
So that was the coverage from local news reporter. And I want to say thank you to Sydney for that awesome coverage. I'm just going to refresh her page and see if she's got anything else happening here. Chad Daybell coverage. Hold on. Let me just take a peek and see what she's got. If there is anything in live videos. That's about it, guys. So I want to say thank you to everybody who joined. This has again been an unscheduled live stream coverage of the defendants in the missing moms from Kansas. Now missing moms murdered. Veronica Butler, Jilian Kelley, 27 years young, mother ripped from her children. Jilian as well, 39 years old. Again, a court-appointed in a custodial exchange went wrong. This is, as we now know, planned over a period of time from, what did they say, February 13th of 2024 to the day they went missing and died on March 30th, 2024. Just horrific, guys. I hate to even report on these things, but let's take a listen here. Some more News Nation coverage.
Grieving following 2 weeks of hope that Kelley and Veronica Butler.
I hate when that happens. Hold on a second. Try to get it back. Here we go.
In that courtroom, they were sobbing, they were angry, again, saying expletives at the suspects, which you can certainly understand just everything that they're going through right now. This has just rocked this entire community. The judge denied bond for all 4 suspects, and 3 of them said they are in the process of hiring private attorneys. Remember, again, these are powerful people, own a lot of land, have businesses in town, high, connections to people in different offices. So it was no surprise that they will have the resources to hire their own attorneys, Nicole.
Yeah, so many people are really empathizing with the families of those victims. All right, Brian Inton, live for us in Oklahoma. Thank you. Well, coming up, we go live to Tel Aviv, days after that massive airstrike from Iran, as Israel weighs its response to the possibility of.
Okay. All right. So that's some of the coverage going on at this time with News Nation. And again, this is an ongoing case that is difficult at best, but we're going to see it through, and we're going to see that justice is served for the 2 victims and their families. So on behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, we want to thank you for joining this unscheduled live stream. If you're not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up so the algorithm YouTube helps push it out. And thank you so much for the birthday love from all of you special friends out there, our community. I want to thank the moderators, the replay viewers, and all who positively engage. On behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, we want to wish you guys a happy hump day. It's Wednesday. Make it a good week, and we will see you on the next one. Peace and love from Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace.